Today, I'm going to try to tackle the 5 greatest fears retirees have as they're approaching that date, approaching that decision. I've scoured the internet, looked at articles, looked at artificial intelligence, and came up with these 5 that I wanted to talk about and what I am doing about them. Let's jump right in. Number 1, running out of money. 40% of the people list this as their number 1 issue. For me, one of the decisions I've made is try to defer Social Security as long as possible. So if something happens to my investments, I still will have the maximum Social Security. Okay. Number 2, I have a paid off house. So it wouldn't be a great retirement, but living on Social Security at its maximum for my wife and I, and having no debt really is my backstop. It's really my safety net that's underneath me. In addition to that, as you know, I use buckets of money. I have short-term money and long-term money. Short-term in bucket 1, long-term in bucket 2. Bucket 1, I got 10 years of expenses out of the market. So I have 10 years to spend out of my fixed assets, like bonds, like treasuries, like CDs, okay? So that gives me great peace of mind, okay? So that was number 1. Number 2, declining health and healthcare cost. They combined these, I don't know why. But declining health, to me, that was a big reason to retire early. Start focusing on exercise instead of excuses. Start focusing on nutrition. Nutrition is huge. If you had a $5 million racehorse, you would not take them to a fast food restaurant to eat. What are you eating? One ingredient foods? Are you limiting sugar, eliminating sugar, reducing stress from your life, getting enough sleep? All these things are within my control. I keep hitting my microphone. Within my control. Yes, bad luck may happen, but I don't want health to be my fault, if that makes sense. That resonates with a lot of people. You know, healthcare cost, I use Indiana Farm Bureau. I do not try to save money on healthcare. I want to do all the preventative things. I got a colonoscopy scheduled this summer, so I have an annual physical. I try to do all the preventative items I can, and I try, including sleep, exercise, and nutrition and stress. Okay. Number 3, loss of independence. This is both physical and cognitive independence. Yeah, I think exercise falls into this. I think nutrition falls into this, stress and sleep, like I just mentioned. And I try to keep sharp. I don't try to just, in my retirement, I'm not just vegged out on the couch. I'm trying to engage. I try to learn new tools here on YouTube. I try to learn something new every day. For example, my history group, I have a group that gets together once every month to talk about events of the past and how they are applicable to today. I have a couple other retirement groups where we talk about current events. I do a lot of household projects around the house and my daughter's house. Those keep me mentally challenged. There are a lot of problem solving that's involved in doing tile work, installing a refrigerator, installing a gas stove and things like that, remodeling. There's a lot going on. So I think keeping your mind exercised is important, as well as your body, keeping it exercised. Number 4, inflation. Inflation's a big one. Quite honestly, 5 years ago, I don't think inflation would have been on people's list, because for 10, 12-year period of time, inflation's 2, 2.5, maybe on a high 3. But it's raised its ugly head. And if you're doing any of your models, like in Boldin Software for retirement, put in 5 or 6% inflation every year, and things get ugly real fast. For me, on inflation, I have to have my growth bucket. I talked about bucket 1 and 2 earlier. Bucket 1 is my now money, anything I need in the next 10 years from my investments. Bucket 2 is my growth engine. I need my growth engine. I need it to grow at 6, 7, 8, 10%. I think since I've retired, I'm averaging about 11. Last time I looked, about 11%. So you got to have that growth engine. If you put everything in a sock uh, or underneath your bed, inflation's going to kill you. So that growth engine is helping me. Also, delaying Social Security. When you delay Social Security, not only do you get credits for the delay, but those higher numbers that you're going to get in monthly payment, those are also adjusted up for inflation. That's why I lean on Social Security as my best asset that I have. Some people don't like me calling it an asset, but when I look at things that have value, Social Security is one. It's adjusted for inflation every year, and you get a benefit for pushing that out. So inflation, yeah, so my Social Security strategy is linked to inflation along with my bucket to 100% equities, things I'm not going to touch for 10 years that have historically grown. No guarantees for the future, but that's my plan. Number 5, social isolation and purpose. I'm not socially isolated. Days like today, I haven't been around a lot of people. My granddaughter's been over, my wife's been around the house, but I have 2 retirement groups. I have a financial one just a current events, and we talk about issues affecting our retirement, our lives. I also have a study group. I also am president of 2 nonprofits, actually. These aren't real time consuming. I volunteer at the high school on career day and writing resumes and interviewing skills. I speak a couple times every semester at the local university on lean practices. I paint for Habitat for Humanity, and I produce this YouTube channel and interact with a lot of people. It's a different interaction. A lot of it's written, and I've that's it's just the way it is. But I do talk to maybe a handful of people every week or every month. Right? Every month. I do have a few people that I mentor. So from a social standpoint, I don't feel that gap at all. From a purpose standpoint, I love helping people. This YouTube is a very flexible and very effective way to help people. I mentor a couple people. I've talked about, going to high school and to college, local colleges, and helping the students there. I get an enormous amount of purpose from that. Painting for Habitat. One of the things I love about Habitat is quite often you're working alongside the owner, and they are just beaming with pride. They're so excited about having their house, and it's different giving money. We do give money, but we also, my wife and I, like to give with our hands, and it is really hits the purpose button very hard. So those are the 5 greatest fears that retirees have: running out of money, dealing with their health, loss of independence, inflation, and finding purpose and not being isolated. Show out.